Good day. So, today we will start our discussion on data link layer. As a matter of fact, we have already discussed a part of the data link layer, namely the MAC sublayer. We will see how that all fits in. But to fit it into the broader picture, if you remember when we were discussing the 7-layer OSI protocol, starting from the application layer, the bottommost layer was the physical layer. So, we have finished our discussion on physical layer, and just above the physical layer we have the data link layer. So, we will look at the different components of data link layer and how they are used, and we will look at a few protocols, etc. So, that is what we will do. So, our main this thing is data link protocols, which are the protocols which are used in the data link layer. Now, what are the main tasks of data link layer? It transfers data from the network layer of one machine to the network layer of another machine. So, actually this is the part of the service it gives to the upper layer. You remember that above the data link layer we have the network layer, alright. So, below the network layer we have the data link layer. So, the data link layer gives some service to the network layer, and this service is the transfer of data from one network layer to another network layer. So, that is the service it gives to the network layer, and this in its turn uses the physical layer. So, it converts raw bit stream of the physical layer into groups of bits, etc., or frames. So, this is how we can look at it. So, this is one node and this is another node. Above this, of course, there may be other layers. We are not concerned about these upper layers at the moment. So, this gets some data to be sent from the network layer, and this data link layer sends it to the next data link layer. Remember once again that the network layer is concerned with transfer of data, etc., across the network. That means, it may take several such hops, but data link layer is just concerned with a single hop. So, this is how we simplify the problem of going multi-hop. So, this multi-hop part we leave it to the network layer. For this single hop, so multi-hop naturally will constitute a number of such single hops, and data link layer would handle the transfer of data from one node to the next, one hop. So, actually this is another way of looking at it, because for the there is a virtual data path from layer 3 to layer 3, but actually this goes through the data link layer, and this is the actual data path which goes through the physical layer and some physical transmission medium. Now, why do we require any kind of control in the data link? These are the main points, or these are the main functions of the data link layer. So, actually not all of them or not all combinations are used in all situations, but these are the general sort of categorization of the kind of thing that we would be concerned with in data link layer. One is frame synchronization. That means, when you are the beginning and the end of a data block called frame should be recognizable, alright. That means, when you are sending a number of bytes, let us say, from one machine to the other, so they are sort of grouped into, let us say, some blocks. So, on the other side they should be able to recognize that, okay, this is the beginning of the block and this is the end of the block. Okay. So, for that you need required to organize the these bytes into some what are called frames.